All right. Hi, Shannon. How are you today? Oh, can you hear me?
I'm good. Yes. How are
Okay,
you?
good. Good. Sorry, we're having a little storm here, so it might be a little bit of a delay. So I was excited to meet with you today. I understand that you are seeking a new opportunity. You are currently working, but unfortunately, due to some business shift, your hours have been significantly cut. So now you're looking for a full-time position.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you don't have to share the name of the company, but why don't you share the industry, what type of company you work for and what you do for them, please?
Well, it's an HVAC company.
Hmm.
They do commercial and residential. We also do sheet. It's called sheet metal. So we make the ductwork for the air conditioning and the heating.
Okay.
Um, so I do most of the office work. I do human resources. I do all the accounts payable, accounts receivable. I also do I look at the contracts and I negotiate the contracts with the other GCs that are hiring us. Technically, we're like a subcontractor.
Gotcha.
Um, I deal with the main GCs in the companies and the owners. Uh, let's see what else. I do permitting for a lot of counties through Florida,
Okay.
which I'm not perfect at it. Some counties are different from others with their websites. Uh, what
Okay,
else
but
do I
you know
do?
that you know how to go in and submit it. And I've heard that before. It's funny you said that. I was hiring a permit coordinator for a position and she was telling me how everything is so different for each different company. Now, so you go online and then if for some reason you weren't able to do it the normal way, what's your process? What do you do next?
Well, I would either call the county,
Hmm.
get through somebody. Sometimes they can work through it while I'm on the phone. Sometimes I do have to go to the office,
Okay.
whether it's
Hmm.
the city building, or a lot of times, one place here in Edgewater, it's the tax office
Yep.
that we
Hmm.
go to for the permits. So I figure it out that way. A lot of times it's easier to do it on the phone and they just walk me through it.
Okay.
I do NCOs for them, which is a note of now you got me blocked right now. Note of
Okay.
commencement. I also do uh, they have the NTOs, which is the notice of ownership.
Yep. And
Um,
you work in QuickBooks and you do AR and AP and payroll.
yes.
Okay,
Um,
year-end close.
yes, I do
Okay.
that. I actually work with his accountant.
Okay.
We do our taxes yearly,
Okay.
so I do the QuickBooks reports for him and the bank account reports for him. With QuickBooks, it's what we have received, what we have made. Um, ooh, what else? I do everything there. I deal
Yeah.
with customers. Customers walk in.
Hmm.
Um, they want to do. They just want random sheet metal made. So I get their measurements, and I also order units for the company, parts, steel. So I do a lot of POs too.
All right. I was going to ask you about that in vendor setup. So, and you're taking inbound calls, outbound calls, customers in person. Now, as far as who is managing the subs, is that something like, are they coming in for you to do anything with them, or is that someone out in the field that's doing that?
We don't really do subs.
Oh,
We're
okay.
yes. So the GC hires us.
So
So
you're
we're the sub.
okay. Thank you
Yes.
for explaining that. All right. So now before this position, so this one you've been a little bit over 4 years. And then where were you before that?
Before that, well, I did work at a clothing store down here in Edgewater. I worked
Mhm.
there for 4 years. I ran two stores. So
Okay,
I don't have that on there.
that's
Um,
okay. So, but you have retail experience.
I have, yes, but before I moved here, I had 13 years of a general manager for a clothing store. Then I went to it was called Capital City, which
Mhm.
was a loan processing company, and I worked there for 7 before I
Okay.
left. and they
Okay.
were amazing. I worked on the computer with them. Um, I did, it's called ACH. So I would debit their accounts or I would put money into their accounts if their loan was, approved, and how we processed them. I did applications with them. I was always on the phone with different customers,
Okay.
filing.
So, so next steps, are you looking to get back into retail? Are you looking for office, like office manager position like you're doing now, office admin? Or, what looks to be the next step for you?
I love the office.
Okay.
I do love the retail. The only thing with the retail is the hours. I mean, I'm 51, so the hours are a little much. I didn't have a life when I mean, I made good money and I worked for amazing companies.
Mhm.
Being at my age now, the office seems to fit with me. I'm very organized. I get things done.
Okay.
And technically, I'm in air conditioning in Florida. So
Yes, you need,
that's a
that's
plus.
important. I completely relate. All
And
right,
I like, I'm
let me
sorry.
stop this part of the recording. I'll be right back.